Hello, there are two quick additions to the instructions about how to put on Google Classroom and Parent Locker. And the goal of these instructions is that students should be able to find what work are they missing very easily. A zero does not necessarily mean missing work. They could redo it. We want to give them a very clear way of looking and finding what are my missing assignments and where can I find them. The first way is in addition to the previous instructions. You've done in-class work or homework that was in a book or wherever it may be, and you put your email into Parent Locker and everything is fine. Now, a few days later, you're going to grade that work and you want to indicate who didn't do it and who did. So you come into your Parent Locker gradebook and you put in your homework. And it was a homework assignment, it was general, it's a really important one, so it's 100 points, and you post it. Now in here, you can now give. Alex did it for sure. Ayala did it for sure. Ori did it. And you keep going, and all the kids, she did most of it, and he did all of it, and she did most of it, and somehow Elijah is missing it. So instead of putting a 0 or including as a 0, you can put not completed. That way, when you save it, as opposed to a grade or even a 0, it has a big red exclamation point. When parents or students look at Parent Locker, they can now see that it is missing, as opposed to, let's go back and finish grading. Right, it's all the same qualifications, as opposed to this student who just decided they're not going to do refusing, and for whatever reason, they don't have another chance at making it up, whereas it comes up as a 0, which is a different situation. That is one option. There's another option that's slightly more complicated, but is also really, really effective and gives kids a very clear place to go find all their work. And that is in their classwork in Google Classroom. If you were to take an assignment that was done in class and posted as, not as a material, but as an assignment, there are ways that it will not get sent to Parent Locker, that they'll have the material available, and that it'll mention if it's missing if it was not done. So in here, we're going to do in class assignment. And we're going to attach our work to it. And of course, it's going to be the first one we have here. So we're going to do this and make a copy for each student because they all should have their own work. That way they can modify their document and turn it right into you directly. Even if it was printed, you can have this done that for them to make up the work. And there's no due date. Having no due date means Parent Locker will not send an email. It was classwork. They don't need to send an email. And nothing is late yet because I haven't graded it. It's on me. I assign this work and wait for it to load. And now a few days go by and I start grading all the work. So I open the work, let's do, and go through and pretend there's more students, and all of them got 100 because they all did their work. Test student, though, test student did not do their work. Now, instead of putting a 0, which will again go straight to Parent Locker as a 0 when you sync them, I can leave that blank. I can go back to the instructions, I can edit it, and I can create a due date in the past. So let's say this was done on Friday the 23rd. If I put Friday the 23rd now, that's the 27th, I'm getting to grading it, no email is going to go to them because it's in the past. There's no upcoming work. I press save, and now when I look at the student work, it says missing. The 0 is kind of automatic. I can even change that and it'll still come out as missing. When it says missing because there is no grade for them, students have access to this. We do not have access to the student email right now to show you, but they have a to-do drop-down menu over here. In the to-do drop-down is missing, and they can look at every single missing assignment that they have, and they can go right to them and complete them and turn them back in. They can turn them in directly on Google Classroom, or they can print it and give it to you, and you can go back and update it. And once I put in their grade, I return the folder, the work, and it is no longer missing. It might still say missing because I didn't turn it on here, but if I had done that earlier, that it wouldn't say missing. Additionally, if you do the parent locker one and you post the material on Google Classroom as materials, make sure to match up the name and ideally the date. So what was my name of my assignment? It was homework. So make sure I write homework so that I can even write on the date that it's happening. So 8/26, or whatever it may be. That way students that do see the missing work over here can go back and find it easily. Some tips that are going to help our students to keep track of their missing work so that they can go back and complete it. So when you tell them you can do missing work or they're wording to parents about how to find that, it's more easily accessible and obvious what is missing versus what was completed or unsatisfactorily completed.